Hey guys, welcome back to the Prehistoric Life Podcast. And today there is a lot of us, but we have a major interview with the giant no camera right there. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Swrve, and I cover loads of Jurassic World content. Hopefully, you guys know, and thanks for having me on.
We're also joined by Jack over here, a multiple time offender of being on here. Got someone new. Latte here. We got Brooke at the bottom. Amelia's there, and Haley is there. I'm trying to figure out how to point to all you people.
So do I get to talk now?
Okay, give him a second. Is there? Right. So I guess the most basic question, I'm sure, as a dino nerd, we all hear it the most. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Giganotosaurus.
That's a solid. No, I gotta ask: paleo accurate or the Jurassic World Dominion version?
Thing is, I much prefer more Jurassic designs than paleo accurate designs. However, with the Giga, I technically liked it ever since I was a kid. So there was only really the paleo accurate design. So yeah. I'm gonna have to go with that.
It's actually funny enough, me and that guy and her in the corner. It is a descendant of the Allosaurus family, which is our favorite dinosaurs.
I do like Allosaurus.
Hello, he's an impressive fellow. This one.
So I guess we'll start off. What got you into the whole Jurassic franchise? What made you go to where you are today?
It's a bit of a weird story because I was never really. I mean, every child liked dinosaurs, right? Every child's seen Jurassic Park, of course. But I was never really too heavily into it. And even when Jurassic World released, I think I watched it maybe a year after it first released. So I wasn't into it whatsoever. But I do have some. Yeah. I have some fond memories of when I was a kid watching the original trio. So I guess it kind of started there. And I remember on my 6th birthday, I think it was, my auntie bought me Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. And I remember looking at the box. I loved the box art and everything. And the Spinosaurus on the background always used to scare me for some reason. So I used to just spend so many nights playing that game. And then sometimes my dad would help me. So I had a lot of, childhood memories of Jurassic. But it wasn't until... Yeah, of course I grew up with it. But again, I wasn't heavily focused in it, It wasn't until 2016 where I watched Jurassic World for the first time. And... I actually really enjoyed it, but I don't think I really did much until I noticed Jurassic World Evolution was releasing. And I think I noticed that in 2017, and I thought it would be similar to JPOG, of course. So obviously, with my background in JPOG, I wanted to focus on this one. And then ever since then, I got into the franchise a lot more.
So it was Jurassic World and Jurassic World Evolution that really brought you in.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, the first movie. It's a very unique story. I mean, not a lot of people are. It is the newer generation version of it, and it keeps captivating people, kids, adults to this day that bring them into this current golden age of paleontology. I mean, I'm certainly thankful for it outside of my own passion for it. I mean,
yeah, because it comes down to pretty much how old you are. Let's be honest, because when the original 3 movies came out, I wasn't alive for 2 of them. The third one, I was maybe 2 months old only. So, of course, there are going to be people much older than me who grew up with the Jurassic Park era. They love that. I grew up with, let's say, the late end of Jurassic Park, but also I matured around the Jurassic World time. And now with Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, obviously there's going to be some kids watching that who are going to grow up with, the new movies and now the animated series. So they're going to have loads of Jurassic content to look forward to.
Of course. I mean,
right.
And it is a major part of paleo history. It built its own section in paleo history, and that's a very unique thing.
Yeah,
definitely. So if I may, first and foremost, g'day mate, how are you, Swerve? I'm a bit of a fan of yours. might surprise you.
You.
No, you're right, mate. So this is about as tame as you're ever going to find me. My heart's kind of beating in my chest with respect because, mate, you are a massive influence on why I'm even here in the first place. So not at all, Eric, mate, to kind of direct the spotlight away, mate, because I know this is your thing and you've been good enough to get us on here, mate. I was just going to say that. So just to give you, mate, a bit of a background on yourself as well, just to give an introduction. So, like yourself, mate, I grew up in the late 90s, 2000s. You mentioned JPOG, mate. And for me, that was also the gateway. That was the thing, mate. I don't know where I even got it, mate. This is a story. Do me a favor. If you end up making a video about any of this, try not to make it this one. What happened was I ended up getting some like cracked version of it. I had no idea where I even got it from years later, mate. And when I was in a school, primary school, way back in the day, because I live down here in Australia, a bit of an Aussie viewer of yours. So what happened was I had that game and I spread that game around, mate, on every computer, PC. So when you'd walk in, people were trying to come into there, do their assignments, do their work. All you would hear is like 50 voices of, hello, my name is John Hammond, across the whole bloody computer room, mate. And I tell you what, the teachers never looked at me, mate, like as if I was their favorite student, mate. They're just hearing cricket noises in the back and like T-Rexes fighting Spinosauruses. And I'm like, I don't apologize for any of this, mate. This is amazing. You see on all this? Mate, because that game was, mate, and like you could get so much stuff done with that. It was like you said, mate, and then we got like the games later on. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So here's the thing, Swerve. Let me just quickly introduce the rest of my co-hosts here because, you know, every single person here, and I don't want you thinking we've kind of jumped you here because we were all very excited, you can imagine, to talk to somebody of your caliber, mate. So starting here quickly, I'll sort of spin us around here because I kind of swing in myself. I'll come back to me. But what happens is starting here on our right up here, this is Lottie. She's a brand new addition here. She jumped on a pod with us just last night, mate. And she has impressed us so well and so much that we're thinking about taking her on full time. So do me a favor. She's been talking about you quite a lot, mate. Try not to take her away from us, bro. I mean, it wouldn't be hard, but So Lottie, do you want to tell Swerve a little bit about yourself and what these movies mean to you in this sort of franchise?
Oh yeah, well, I'll try and watch my language this time. But
it'll be all right. This is not his part.
fellow British person here. Nice to meet you.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I started with the Jurassic franchise when I was born, pretty much. I grew up with the films 1, 2, and 3, and I actually can't hate those films now because they're just part of my childhood, and I love them. And then watching Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion as well, unfortunately. I think we watched all of those films on like the first night that it was out. And then Camp Cretaceous just excited me so much as well, and it just strengthened my relationship with the franchise even more. And now Chaos Series coming out, it's my whole life pretty much. It's great.
Yeah. It's like a ever-growing universe. That's what I really enjoy. Yeah. We're in a great place now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So we got these other two here, mate, and these are some of your younger viewers and your younger fans here, and that you're much of a very guiding force to them, mate. So on the down here with the blue Velociraptor down here, mate, we have Amelia. And I've met her only not too long ago myself, mate. And she has some fun ideas, mate, that she would love to float by you, just in case you're looking for a little bit of, bit of extra inspiration for some video ideas in the future. We'll float you a few free ones, mate. Yeah. So Amelia, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
So it's all good. So Amelia, do you want to tell Swerve about one of those ideas you were telling me about just before?
Sure. Let me pull it up.
Sorry, bro. We haven't practiced for this at all, by the way, Swerve. I want you to know.
Other interviews.
Put on the spot.
Yeah.
No, I'd never do that. I'd never do that to these lovely girls, man. They've been nothing but kind to me. I didn't just throw this on them last minute, and they said, "Wait, we have to meet who?" I'm sorry, who? What?
Do you need a second, Amelia?
Yeah, if you need a second, lovely. I know, right? I'll introduce you to also here on my left as well. So this lovely mystery gal over here as well. This is Haley, and she jumped on a pod for us not too long ago as well. So Haley, do you want to say hi as well?
Hi. And just so you guys know, Brooke's internet cut out, so she's with me now.
Oh right, because you girls just happened to be in the same area when I told you about this, and so yeah, Swerve. This is Haley and Brooke. These two girls, they are something of a how would I put this, mate? They represent each side of the fandom when it comes to mate, about like the shipping wars and stuff, where it's like who should the fandom like more, Brooklyn and Darius together, or Kenji and Brooklyn, you know?
Yeah,
mate, you can imagine, mate. We shot up.
No, Darius and Brooklyn.
It's all right. So we shot up an extra like couple thousand viewers just because of them, mate. And we only met these lovely two here maybe about 2 weeks ago, Swerve. So a very good company, mate. And I had to give them an opportunity, bro, to meet you. So I hope that was all cool with you, mate.
Yeah, of course.
Good on you, mate. And back to myself. Oh, mate. I'm trying to be as restrained as possible. I'm kind of like jumping at the feet here, mate. Got a chance to meet you.
He's been bugging me for this one.
A little bit, mate. So what it is, Swerve, is that I've been a big fan of yours for years, mate. Like I've personally referred to you as one of the big five. I call you. You know, you got Best of Slot, Gaming Beaver. You know them all, mate. You know them all better than me. You're like, mate, you'd tell me you'd be as humble as any of them, and you say, oh, I don't consider myself that big. I'm like, mate, I'm not big. I've got about 4K worth of subscribers, bro. I had to double check yours and I had to put my jaw back up. So what it is, mate, is that I don't know. I'm not sure if you actually recall this, mate, but you and I have a little bit of affiliation already in the past, because I'm actually not associated. This is a bit of a jump scare. I promised Eric I wouldn't do this, but I can't resist, mate. So I'm actually not affiliated permanently with this fella here, Eric. He does his own channel. I actually am more closely linked to a channel, mate, called Jurassic Fans Podcast, if you recall me voice at all.
Ooh. That's the thing. There's so many, like,
there's so many
using the Jurassic name. And
I said to my friend,
that's why I stay away from it.
Oh, bro, I've been looking forward to this, bro. I'm rubbing my hands together now, Swerve, because I'm excited, bro, because I've told each and every one of these people this, and I mean it as a joke, bro, but I'm so excited because, mate, not 11 months ago, you did something, mate, maybe unintentionally, and it just changed, like, the second half of my life around for the better, mate. What you done is that 11 months ago, you made a video, it was about, if you recall, mate, it was the video where you said that Manticorp Island might actually have been Isla Morazan from the Lost World novel. You recall that one?
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. That's the one. And I'll never forget that, mate. And my friend Daniel, he tags me in it, mate, who brought me on, because that was my first ever podcast. And I thought, holy crap, Swerve has seen this. I watch his videos all the time, and he's making a video about a theory I said, and Dan said,
I remember,
yeah, bro. And I said to him,
I said,
yeah, that was my favorite video of yours, by the way. Totally unbiased. Well, you know. Anyway, and I said to Daniel, I said, oh, he says to me, he goes, oh yeah, but he didn't tell it was you. I said, mate, I don't care. I said, I know that Swerve has seen me, bro. And I was so excited, man. So I just want to say, mate, that every single one of these people here, mate, that I've met since then in the last 11 months of my life now, I do technically owe all of this and what I am now in this podcasting world to you, Swerve, mate. So I want to just say thank you for that, eh?
Hey, that's but you've done the work yourself. You should, be appreciative of yourself as well. You've done.
Oh, don't you worry, mate. I am. This is one of those full circle moments for me, mate. Anyway,
if we waited one more month, and it would have been 12 months.
Mate, honestly, I am so excited for so much stuff on the horizon, mate, because I remember that dry spell you were talking about as well, right after Dominion. Oh, it's very hard to see, mate, but I had this wonderful profile photo you see with the ring around it up here, made by a very talented artist, not a couple of weeks ago, named, I think it's Mike Spires Art. He's a very talented Jurassic artist. You maybe know about him in your
I hang out with him.
Jesus Christ! There you go.
He's a really nice guy.
He's very nice. Well, mate, if you see him before me, which you will, obviously, because you live a whole continent away, yeah, tell him I said thank you so much for that, bro, because it gave me the confidence to jump on here with you, mate. And the reason I bring this up, mate, is because on my shirt there, I did a little bit of extra work myself, and I call myself something of a Dominion defender, mate. And the thing I wanted to just give you a bit of thanks for, mate. Thank you. The thing I wanted to give a little bit of thanks for, bro. Still have them all there.
No, I can't.
Nah, he's all good.
Just letting him see it a little better.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, bringing me up. There he is. It's very pixelated. Sorry, bro. Yeah. So what happened is, the reason I like a lot of your channels, mate, is that one thing I've always noticed about you, Swerve, mate, is that you always tend to try to look on the positive side of this franchise. This franchise that means so much to me, so much to Lottie, to Haley, Amelia, Brooke, or Eric, all of us. Just you've whenever there's something going on, whether it's a bit of a bit of a cheeky leak getting shown around the internet, you're always looking at the positive, and you're always excited for whatever it could mean for the future of this franchise that we all are so endeared to. And because of that, mate, I've tried to kind of mirror a bit of that as well into my own sort of work with this sort of gift. So once again, mate, just thank you very much for what you're doing and keeping up that positive attitude, especially when it comes to Dominion, mate, because I'm sure obviously, and don't you laugh at me too much, Eric, mate, but I like quite a lot of Dominion, more so than most people. I like the science behind it. I like the theme behind it, mate. And like you, Swerve, I kind of get more of what just kind of address it, the locust plot line in that movie, mate, that everybody hops on, that everybody always says, we're here to watch dinosaurs, but why are they putting bugs in? I'm like, well, that's the purpose, mate. That's the purpose. Not only are all of these bloody movies, mate, there's a through line but through all of them, mate, and that is the fact that every single movie, mate, is motivated by profit. Every single one. There's not a single one, mate. If you look at all the way from Jurassic World to Dominion, it starts from Nedry from the can all the way to trying to control world's food supply, mate. There's always a theme there, mate. And I just appreciate the way that you've always sort of pointed that sort of stuff out to me. So cheers again, eh?
Yeah, of course. That's the thing. And, I didn't grow up on this franchise as much as many others did. So, of course, being able to have the platform I now have, I want to be able to show the wider audience that, I feel like this franchise is very misunderstood, and a lot of people tend to miss
they miss the finer details, mate. They definitely miss the finer details, I think I would say. And the thing is, and yes, I'm sure, and I'm not even going to start on Dominion, mate, because I love it, but there are of course a few things that you could fix, but I'm gonna float one idea past you here, Swerve, just the one. If I can only pitch one, and I don't even know why it's this one, I'm on the spur of the moment, mate. Do you reckon it would have made that movie so much more impactful if they had made it that when the locusts were introduced and they're eating stuff on the farm, what if instead of just having the kids run into the barn, what if instead the father runs outside, tries to fight them off with a shovel or something, and the locusts reveal that they actually are able to maul a person to death in seconds into a skeleton, bro?
You see,
would that be too much? It sounds good, doesn't it?
It's probably too much for Universal, but
for sure, man.
There was this horror movie. There was this horror movie I watched when I was a kid, and it was like a locust horror movie. I can't remember the title of it. It was like a 2009 movie, I think, and it would just it would creep me out because they'd actually show the corpse of people being eaten by the locusts, and I think maybe that's why the locust had a big impact on me in Dominion, because I'm kind of traumatized from them.
Right. Copy. I got you, mate. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually, bro. Yeah, no. And again, I only mention that for one of my non-existent co-hosts who are here, Daniel, who helps me run the Jurassic Fans podcast. He is adamant, mate. Absolutely adamant. He's a bit of a he's a self-published novelist, mate. When I met him. And he focuses more on the kind of the more gratuitous sort of deaths. He misses that from this franchise, right? And this is one of the very few times when me and him actually differ on this, mate. The reason I like shows, Swerve, like Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous is because, yes, they're targeted towards children because, yes, Universal is able to hit a larger kind of PG kind of demographic. But you still get it, though, don't you, Swerve? You still get, when the first time that happened, bro, I think it was, if I remember correctly, mate, it's the Indominus Rex that runs out and attacks those two park workers when the kids are all up on top of the tower. And, you hear the crunch, mate. You see it, you understand. The kids I used to babysit at the time, Swerve, they got it. They didn't need to see people getting torn apart and all this super gratuitous stuff, mate. But I just had to throw that one in there just for Daniel because it's the equivalent of pouring one out for him because he couldn't be here for this. He wanted to be, mate, but I said, sorry. I said I got this. I said I got this, bro. I've got this after all these months. Anyway, mate. So Eric, that's a large majority of what I wanted to sort of get out of the way early, mate. So Eric, if you want to swing back into the direction, bro. If you need me to jump back in, mate, you just point it to me. You can imagine, Swerve. I've got some ideas, mate. I've got some free ideas for you if you need anything.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Got a list of basic questions already set up. Whatever.
Nice.
I mean, clearly the biggest things on the chopping block right now for specifically the Jurassic franchise. I won't get into the actual paleo world since this is the Jurassic Legacy portion of my show.
Yes, man. If you can't tell, Swerve, this fella here, he's actually very. He was a very big pull for us when we got him on our pod because he's an actual real life paleontologist in training. You probably already well know that by now, but he actually focuses on. He's got his toe in both ponds, mate. You know, he understands that the Jurassic franchise is the flair, like the Allosaurus. You know, I mean, you look at my profile here, bro. The Allosaurus, that design, Swerve, mate. When it come in 2019, Battle at Big Rock, it jumped up there for me, mate. It became my favorite design, and I'd loved Allosaurus since I was a kid, and I was like, nah, this is amazing now, you know. But poor Eric here, he gets people all the time messaging him in the comments saying like, well, it's not as accurate as it could have been, and we're like, mate, I'm just here to be entertained. I understand the frog DNA, mate. It mixes with it, so it is a reason, Swerve. You know, it's built into.
Let's put that to death now, Swerve. What do you have to say to everybody in the comments who always cry and complain about how it's not paleo accurate?
Oh, here we go. Putting him on the spot. He said I'm gonna lose 200 subscribers, bro.
Yeah,
nah, what do you got, Swerve?
I'm not gonna hold back. Okay,
go for it. Hit us.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Do you really care that much? Like, is it going to change the story?
Exactly,
Seriously?
bro.
If it looks a little bit different, like to the wider audience, is it really going to make a big difference to the story? These are 100%. Movies and not documentaries, and I know that's so cliche to say, but
no, it's truth, bro.
It's black and white. You know, it's black and white. You know, sure, some of them, some designs, I'm not going to call them out, Pteranodon and Baryonyx, they aren't really the best.
My man.
They aren't the best. They can be better.
Yeah, for sure.
That's that's the thing with the Jurassic franchise. Like you can try a design that's completely out there. They don't like it, change it. They've changed Pteranodons like 3 times, so they can just change it again. And then that's the story they have.
Yeah, mate, absolutely, bro. So, no, Eric, you go, bro. I'm going to try to restrain myself. And getting into it now.
My thing on that is it's a movie. At the end of the day, shut up and watch the movie.
Yeah, bro. Easy. Enjoy your popcorn flick, bro. Go back twice. Give them more money so we get another one.
my only problem with it, with like the whole non-paleo accurate design, would be if they were marketing it as a documentary, which it's not. Yeah. It's not a documentary. It's meant to be
it's a fantasy, bro. It's an incredible science fiction fantasy.
Okay, how about this then? Okay. So in the prologue, we obviously got the Cretaceous period section. What if we were to have a like 15-minute short documentary styled kind of short film where it's literally supposed to be like a documentary, but Jurassic
I could answer that one. I could answer you that one, bro. I'd be broke because I'd be going back to the cinema every bloody 2 minutes to watch it again and again and again and again and again, bro. Because I would love that, Swerve. That would be incredible, mate. And I would love that, yeah. But they won't do that because, you know, weirdly enough, Swerve, mate, to mention a very obscure reference for you, and this is a bit of a test for you, mate, because I've always wanted to ask you about this. You know, remember the Telltale games, mate, back in 2013? Oh, yeah, mate. That fellow, Oscar, he said when they was talking about like why InGen wouldn't want to make Nublar into a dino preserve, that big fella Oscar goes, why would they? There's no money in that. And I've always remembered that for every decision Universal has made, bro. So if it doesn't benefit them to their benefit, you know, they won't do it. Whereas a good idea like that, like I might have, like my friend Eric here might have, especially you, Swerve, mate, and you might have, like they won't do that ideas unless it feels kind of safe. And that's what I was going to transition into some of the leagues. That's right. Yeah. And then Rexy always has to pull out and do the right thing, bro. So it's good. And it's, again, mate, it's safe. Because here's the thing, mate. One thing I was wondering to you, Swerve, how do you feel, mate, about what they've kind of done in recent years since Jurassic World? Now, I'm not going to say that the ending in Jurassic World is bad at all, because it's not. Mate, I remember leaving high school, watching that movie. I feel so silly when I can admit this, but I remember, Swerve, you know better than I, the shot where the Indominus is knocked down, the Rex and the Raptor are there, everybody in the cinema knows what's coming. I'm so into it. I had no idea, mate. When the Mosasaurus jumps out, grabs the Indominus, rips it down, drowns it, I was genuinely speechless for the rest of that evening, bro. I couldn't even enjoy the rest of the movie. I was just like, what the hell did I just watch? This was the most incredible experience of my young adolescent life. But mate, since then, Swrve, mate, what is your take on the whole idea of like everybody has to earn their death, as Colin once said, and that the Rexy and Rex and the Velociraptor Blue, they always have to be sort of more like caricature heroes rather than actual animals? How do you stand on that?
I agree with a lot of what Colin says, but no, I don't agree with
No,
that.
I agree as well with you, mate. Well, funny enough,
In
I've
the-
always found myself agreeing with your videos, Swrve, so I'm like, no, that makes sense.
Well, like let's look at the Spinosaurus versus the Gigantosaurus.
The
Or
Gino.
Giganotosaurus in the movie. Spinosaurus was like a menace. It was hunting them. It was hunting the people. It was just like torturing things. I mean, it was violent in hunting. The Gigantosaurus, it didn't really. It acted like an animal.
It
was
was.
just
That
yeah.
is something I will. And so, have you
Yeah.
just said before, mate? Your favorite was the Giga. Was that correct, bro?
Mhm.
Mate, honestly, that Giga done nothing wrong. I've got to be honest with you. I was so unceremonious. I was so not upset, Swrve, because again, the thing is, here's my biggest question to you, Swrve, and this is something I've always wanted to say for a big fella like yourself. What else do you do at this point? What else do you do with the Rex? You have to. They feel like they have to kind of end it on a big spectacle fight of some description. Now I know Fallen Kingdom doesn't end like that specifically, but it feels
No, it does.
almost.
It's
Well,
blue
yeah, I
and
know.
Indoraptor.
It jumps out and blue and the Utah. But when it comes to the Rex, mate, it's like it feels like they made the Rex have to kill this animal. And like my friend Eric said here, Swrve, the Giga in that movie, I like it a lot more than many dinosaurs I've seen in recent years because it acts like an actual animal. It's asleep when we meet it. It lets the Rex go. It's just curious. They actually say, Swrve, and you probably noticed it as well, mate, but they say in the movie specifically that in the Biosyn Valley, they say that they have worked their way to making 100% genomes with no added frog DNA. So they know that the Giganotosaurus does not have the vision impaired movement. So that whole time, mate, the secret to that scene is that the Giga can see them at every turn and moment, but it's just curious. It's not a mindless, bloodthirsty machine, mate. Essentially it's like a bird or a crocodile, mate. It's just an animal. So, and then they have to do the big blockbuster thing at the end, Swrve. So, what are your sort of thoughts on all of that?
Rex is old. No,
Absolutely, 30 years running strong, mate.
So
She
she's
was born in
actually
'86.
Yeah,
she's actually outlived the expected age of like the average Tyrannosaurus. So
for sure.
it's time to retire her.
And that's the thing, and that's why I'm actually very excited, mate, because as you can imagine, I've seen some of those little leaks there, Swrve, and there's a potential. I don't want to confirm it, as you probably already know it, mate, but there's that potential for apparently her to kind of pass the torch, mate. Have you would never know nothing about that, would you, Swrve?
I wouldn't think too much into it.
Nah, don't take it. Take it over the whole bottle of salt, mate. Don't buy into it.
It's just going to be Junior from the second movie again. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, look, I think they can. I think they can pull it off, mate. If they make Rexy have like a hatchling or something, I reckon. And then you watch this thing grow, and you become attached to that as well. Because honestly, Swrve, I did think that there's this incredible fan edit. Swrve, I'm sure you would have had to have seen it in the profession you're in, mate. But do you know that fan edit? I can't remember who it's created by, mate, on YouTube. But it's where the Rexy and the Spino, of course, they happen to be in the Biosyn Valley. It's like, what if the Spinosaurus was involved? And they fight the Giga and they work together. And then the Rexy just kind of slinks off into the jungle nearby and just genuinely passes away. And it's like a genuine tender moment. And I can't help but think what a beautiful send-off that would have been for the end of Dominion, Swrve. What are your sort of thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I love Dominion. I think it's one of I don't want to say it, but I think it's a little bit better than tiniest bit better than Jurassic World, which is
I understand. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Honestly, mate. This is the thing. It's topical. I know. Don't you worry. We got
by the smallest amount, it might be my second favorite Jurassic movie. By the smallest amount, but
see, now that made me go up respect point for you 10 times, mate.
The one thing that I absolutely despise is the lack of deaths, and I feel like
understood.
It was a major death that was missing. Like, sure, we had like I think 8 deaths or something. Not even that. Like maybe
Not even
4 or
that,
5.
really. I thought it was 2, bro. I thought it was 2. I must be wrong. I have to
No,
double check.
there's at least 3 in the motor sequence. And then
Right,
also
gotcha.
have species
All
off
right,
screen as well.
Oh,
But
yeah, makes me
yeah,
wanna
and
watch it.
I feel like one,
It's a
Malcolm
giant
should have died by the
organization
Giga,
collapsing.
Oh, you're
Giant
right,
organization.
Swerve. You're right.
and
See, this is why
2,
we need
Rexy should have died off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it would have felt because
Buck and Owen at the
now-
end. They,
now, yeah. Now
I
here's
was
the thing.
hoping for Buck and Doe.
Yeah, sorry, Swerve. As you go on, mate. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like as you were saying, the Buck and Doe are like. I don't think the Therizinosaurus needed to be there. It's a cool
No.
dinosaur. It
It's
made a
very
cameo
cool.
appearance, kind of like how the
And
Raptors made a
actually,
cameo
mate,
appearance and the
yeah.
Dinosaurs. So
Now, actually,
doesn't
so I
need
remember
to-
it was sorry, bro, but it was your video I remember that I watched, mate, with all those concept arts. Was it? It's all these concept arts of another sort of take of the movie where Grant and Owen they come into contact with like a Pyroraptor, and like this Therizinosaurus is introduced in a very different sequence. And am I correct in this, Swerve, that the Atrociraptors were actually supposed to have been Deinonychuses? Was that right, mate?
yeah, they're originally
That's
done on
there you
this in
go.
the concept
Deinonychus
art,
cannot
and-
get a break in these movies.
They really can't, can it? It really can't, can it?
Put it
You
in
know?
the movie, please.
Just put it in, dude. I
Yeah.
hope that's in the new
That'd
one.
be
I
so
really
cool.
hope it is.
That would be
That's
cool. Though.
strange. You know what? Actually, Swerve, I've just thought about this because we do go transition into the new stuff, bro. Because we are running half time here. So what I was going to say to you, mate, was
God.
Swerve. So obviously, you know far more about anything coming up than us, mate. Is there any dinosaurs personally yourself you hope to see when it comes to the new film coming out, Rebirth? I believe they say it's called.
Yeah.
Jurassic.
Well, it's only really Parasaurolophus that's 100% confirmed, and that, again,
Exactly.
that's only if it doesn't only appear in deleted scenes. Like their scenes
Oh,
could be taken out of the movie like that.
Could you imagine,
So
mate? Oh, I'd be salty.
That's the issue when it comes to the movie industry. Like you can see, you can see all of these like puppets and visual effects and everything, but there's no guarantee they're going to make it into the movie. So you could say,
That's
oh
right.
yeah, this dinosaur's going to be in it, but
Right.
that's only because it's been recorded, it's been used. Doesn't mean it's going to actually 100% appear because final cuts of the movie happen
That's
like
right.
as early as maybe like a whole month or 2 months before the movie releases. So
No,
things change in the movie industry very quickly.
yeah. Now I've got to ask you 2 more things about this, bro, and then I'm going to start sharing this plate around a little bit here. So, mate, I've got to ask. It's been bugging me for weeks, mate. You've seen it, you know it. When they've got that what is it, mate? The is it? Oh, hang on, sorry. It's the boat, mate. The boat, the leak scene about the boat, and you can hear the director screaming, action, here he comes. What do you think, mate? I've got to know, Swerve, in your professional and hopeful opinion. Don't worry, we're not going to get you on the record, I promise. But what do you reckon it could be? Could it be a return of the Spinosaurus, or is it the Mosasaurus attacking? What do you reckon?
It'll be an aquatic creature.
For sure.
If you think about a Spinosaurus, sure, I'm not going to say it's going to be in a movie, okay?
You know what, mate? Because everybody's going crazy because of that, bro. And I'm like, surely not.
Take it with a pinch of salt, okay? Take everything with a pinch of salt.
Exactly, mate.
One, because apparently Universal are doing this thing similar to what Disney and Marvel did for Deadpool and Wolverine, where they just basically give out fake leaks so that nobody knows.
Really?
So yeah, that's apparently what Universal are currently doing. So take everything with a pinch of salt, because I don't know what's 100% true or not.
That's smart.
So
that's smart.
It's smart. It's very smart. But yeah, in regards to this, in regards to the scene, he's on a big boat. So I don't see how the Spinosaurus is going to be involved. Like it's a swamp dwelling creature. If anything, it's not going to be.
It would have to jump on the boat and then like.
And look, if they somehow pull it off, mate, don't worry, mate. Swerve, you'll be the first fella I get in contact with. I'll be like, bro, you remember when we talked about it? but nah, mate. Like honestly, the thing is, Swerve, personally, me myself, mate. I grew up as a bit of a Spino fanboy back in the day, and I wasn't because I was like, oh, it's so much bigger than the T-Rex. I thought it was just so cool when I was a kid that it's this like aquatic dinosaur was like the new king of sauna. I thought that was so cool, man. I based so much of my like childhood life over that J-Pog, all that sort of stuff. I don't want to see him just bring it back just so it can be like killed off either by a floating chunk of lava as they was gonna do in Fallen Kingdom, or just killed in a rematch with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I was worried, Swerve, they were gonna do that in Camp Cretaceous, mate, in season 5.
Who said that the Spino in Rebirth is going to be the same one?
Copy. Gotcha. Because honestly, I've seen some of those images going around, Swerve, and if they pull that off, mate, what I've seen, mate, the movie is going to be insane. It's going to be insane no matter what. And here's the thing, Swerve. Do you reckon, in your professional opinion, this is a bit of a different one. Do you think that with the year's worth of turnaround and the star cast they're pulling on, do you reckon that they're going to be able to pull it off with the time they have left? Because I have got enough faith in the company and the franchise that I think they can do it. I reckon they can do it justice because they've got Gareth Edwards, they've got the bloke who wrote the first movie, mate, back on board. What do you reckon, Swerve? Where are your thoughts on that?
On what, like if they can make the movie in time, or if they can make a good movie?
If they can make a good movie with the material they have and the effort they seem to all be bringing to this case, you know?
I don't know. It sounds good. Frank Marshall, Steven Spielberg, David Koepp, Gareth Edwards. It sounds great. The thing that's giving me a little bit of hope is the new idea that apparently Universal are, putting false leaks out there. That's apparently as well. That's not confirmed. So I still don't know what to believe. But just from what we've heard via Deadline about another story on another island, I'm just thinking, why are you reinventing the wheel again?
Yeah.
I'm not too. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I'm excited because of the crew and the cast, but the storyline, I'm just thinking, you set up Conor Trevorrow went out of his way to set up everything in Dominion. That's what I love.
That's right. You know what I mean?
And you're going back to doing the same thing you've already done.
Yeah, you're playing trilogies.
If you look at trilogies, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, it's a story about Isla Nublar and a park is open.
That's it, isn't
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and The Lost World, you're practically doing some kind of dinosaur wrangle. You look at Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Dominion, there's a child that goes missing. You go and try to collect the child whilst facing dinosaurs. They're so similar in every single sense. And
there's nothing to base Jurassic World off of.
That's the thing. It looks like
they're just going
back to an island.
Start over the loop?
I don't know. I'm a little bit scared, but that's why I'm not as hyped as I was for Dominion, but we'll see when we know more.
And we'll get that first trailer, mate, and everything will sort of fall into place, I reckon. So, what I was going to say so Lottie, I was going to say, I know. Sorry, I know you still. It's crazy. Don't worry, I'm starting to share this around now because I've basically got everything out of the way now. I really wanted to talk about with him. So Lottie, so Swerve, Lottie here. I've just met her very recently.
Yesterday.
Guys, we're trying to be professional. So Lottie, you have a few little points and stuff here that you were going to bring up on our podcast, but what better chance to sort of bring up some of them with the man himself here, So do you have anything there that you want to be able to... No pressure. No, surely not. So do you have any sort of ideas and stuff you've always wanted to sort of ask someone like Swrve, or what can you say? What your thoughts about Chaos Theory in season 2? Because that's the next big hook about all that sort of stuff. Do you have anything you'd want to inquire?
Okay. So let's start off wide. First off, how would you compare Chaos Theory to Camp Cretaceous? Or if you would compare them at all?
That's a good one.
You can compare them, but I don't think you should at the same time.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you. Yeah, it's like it follows the same. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But like it follows the same idea, but the stories are just so vastly different because Camp Cretaceous. It's the best way I can describe it. It's more like a pitch towards more content from Jurassic. Because they stuck it safe. They basically followed the same story as Jurassic World. There's no issue in doing that. It showed us another, perspective, and that's fine. And now Chaos Theory is where we get into the deeper side of things, where they start to do their own little thing, and sure, they tried that with season 4 and season 5, but we don't really talk about that. But they're trying again. They're trying again. And they've hit the ground running in Chaos Theory. So you can compare them, but I don't think you should.
That's fair. That's fair.
From what we know about Chaos Theory season 2, what are you excited to see in it? What do you want to see in it? Any specific dinosaurs, characters, things like that.
Well, dinosaurs, like that's the thing. Like I keep getting asked, like, what dinosaurs do you want to see in the next movie? I don't know. Every single dinosaur I've wanted to see has appeared.
Yeah, they've pretty much been there, haven't
I'm
they?
set. You know,
I'm just
all
ready
my
for this
favorite
bad boy
dinosaurs
to be
are
in there.
Oh, he's flexing on you now, Swerve. He's got this fella ready here, right? He saw that teaser trailer, mate, and he was like, "Holy,
set.
I got my boy."
Praying for
Yeah.
Majungasaurus to be in the Jurassic franchise for a good long while now. Now I'm finally getting it, so I'm happy.
Well, it was part of the genome of the Indominus. So
Indeed, it was. It
Apparently,
was.
wasn't there a Xenosaurus part of it too?
yeah, so if I remember correctly, the
Oh,
top
here we go.
no, I can't. No, okay, the top 4 genomes for definite are Tyrannosaurus Rex and Velociraptor, then Giganotosaurus and Therizinosaurus. And I think it might be Carnosaurus next or Majungasaurus. It's one of it might be because I think a Bellysaurus is also included in that as well.
Abelisaurs in general, I'd feel. Just
No, I hear
yeah,
you.
they're very
Gotcha.
close
So-
in relation.
but yeah. Those are pretty much the main wrangle, and
Yeah,
Majungasaurus is in a bit.
Cuttlefish.
Well, something I was going to wonder, actually, bro. I was just actually, you just said cuttlefish. Actually, just saying, it's got me thinking. So, Swerve, Haley here actually has kind of an interesting idea that she wants to talk about. So, mate, Swerve, you know about the whole Ceratops sort of controversy, right? Haley, sorry, actually, I'll let you handle it. Haley, you got it ready to go, darling?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so you might have heard this before, but I did kind of want your input on it. What I wanted to know is, like, where did the Ceratops from Battle at the Big Rock really, like, come from? Because they just kind of show up after the Fallen Kingdom, and we never really saw them on the big boat moving the dinosaurs off the island. So, like,
Yeah.
did Biosyn make them, or, like, what?
Yeah. What,
I don't
mate, yeah,
know.
Swerve, what do you reckon,
I wish
bro?
I had an answer to that. I wish I did, because it's like it's one of those unanswered questions that can easily be answered just by somebody saying something, but it's not.
Oh, for sure, man.
So if we use like just use a tiny bit of logic, the Nasutoceratopses, they obviously need to grow, and if the dinosaurs were leaving the mainland in 2018 and Battle of Big Rock takes place in 2019,
Yeah,
the
that's not
dinosaur,
enough time,
if we were to think about, because I don't think, no, okay, Biosyn do, so it either has to come from InGen or Biosyn themselves, because it has clearly accelerated growth genes. There's no way it can go to an adult within a year and produce an offspring which is only a few months old that quickly.
No.
If it was if it was made by anybody else, you know. So if it's clear that using the timeline, either dinosaurs were on the mainland before 2018, or there was a company involved, either Biosyn or InGen, that created this. And with how Biosyn have created these creatures and then also let them out in the world so that they can then get paid by the governments to then capture them, it's a bit clear that they probably were doing this for a while. So
that's right. Well, you know what, mate? I'm so glad you answered that for me, mate. And Haley, thank you so much for bringing that up. You're very good at your job. So what I was going to say, real quickly, I know, and Brooke, I know you got something you want to ask him too. So I'm just going to quickly get over this. Swerve, mate, I love that you just said that about the fact that maybe Biosyn could have been the one in charge of that, right? Because my thing is, bro, I go a little too deep into the lore sometimes, and everybody here will tell you. But what my side kind of understanding was, it was kind of linking it more to those, like, you know, the black market Malta sort of people. Because here's the idea, mate. Jurassic World closes down 2014 or 15 or whatever it was, and mate, Swerve, you remember how many geneticists were working at that lab in like the beginning of the movie? So suddenly they wake up on Monday morning, they come to work, they're like, oh, by the way, park's destroyed, you're all out of a job, you know, go kick rocks, mate, you have a job. It's like, oh shit, what do I do now? I've got this big, probably like a university or college degree or whatever you do over there of like debt that I have to do. What are you going to do, Swerve? You're not going to sit on your hands, mate, are you? You're going to go out there and you're going to find anybody who's hiring, whether it's Biosyn or another company that we've never heard of, or whatever, like Manticore. When that showed up, that sort of made sense to me, like long term, right? But I was under the assumption, mate, that when we saw Dominion, because you remember all the viral marketing for Dominion, you remember, Swerve, there was like that camera leak photo of like when you're in Malta and it's like this clutch of eggs in like this really danky little like area. You know what that was? When I saw that, mate, that opened my eyes for two different things. That was like, oh, hey, you know, the technology has become so small and simple since the 90s, where de-extinction was up there with magic, that like anyone could do it if you knew what you were doing. Like anyone could make things like the Oviraptor, mate, and Lystrosaurus. Those weren't made by Biosyn, as far as we know. They were just made by people who just happened to find DNA and amber and stuff and went out in the world looking for it, because that stuff is now more valuable than gold, mate. Like that's paleo DNA for pound is the most expensive thing in the world. It could be worth billions to the right buyer. They say that in the novel, mate, because I've read the novel back to front like a madman. So my thought, Swerve, was that like, yeah, maybe someone else in the world had made it and was also maybe assisting Biosyn in doing that. But I like your answer more, Swerve, where it is Biosyn kind of fueling the problem and kind of ruining InGen's reputation. Like, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, because like they said that they create 100% accurate creatures.
Right.
Okay?
As far as it goes.
So when you look at what is created within the Biosyn vicinity, you can see that they've created Morris Intrepidus, and you also see that in the natural world, literally 1-to-1, perfect as it was in the Biosyn facility. Therefore, it's clear that if they've made that creature, they've sent that creature out there. Same with Quetzalcoatlus. But, Quetzalcoatlus. So the thing is, this is what I love about movie universes, firstly, just to kind of explain this a little bit better. So the whole, as we discussed earlier, like, why is it not paleo accurate, blah, 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 is because these take place in alternate universes, so that's why I know some people are complaining about the Giganotosaurus versus the T-Rex would never have happened, but who's to say in that universe that never happened, that it could easily happen that way. So what I really like that they did is that with Biosyn saying that they make 100% accurate creatures, but then obviously they're not paleo accurate to what we know, but those creatures that we see that are supposedly 100% appear in the prologue as well. So therefore they are genetically perfect in that universe. When you see the Quetzalcoatlus out in the wild on the New York Trade Center, they're perfect. They're 100% perfect from the prologue. Therefore, it's clear that Biosyn created that and let it out into the wild. So
and like the parasaur is made as well in that movie, because remember they literally find a new, like, more accurate version of a parasaur, which obviously Biosyn would have had to have made as well and just released into the wild.
Yeah, there's still no explanation for that though.
No, they're not. But I have to imagine
they didn't appear in the prologue, and now all of a sudden their models are appearing in the 7th movie. So I'm just confused what they're doing with the parasaurs overall, because the old models appear in Chaos Theory.
So, well, funny. No, you're right. Funny enough. Yeah, no. Funny enough, bro. Like, what is this? I actually use the game Jurassic World Evolution 2 for a lot of the fill-in lore and stuff as well, man. I know you pull a bit of that as well, Swerve. But for me, mate, when I'm doing the Biosyn Valley thing like that, and Dodson's kind of got me on the hook, mate. He's like, "Now we're here to leave InGen in their dust," and they're about making and you get like the power and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, though, like you get the Quetzal in that one, sure, but then you get to like Malta and you get all those other ones like the Aloe and stuff like that. So it makes me wonder, like, very loosely, because I know it's all soft canon and side stuff happens in the Jurassic Park 3 one and that. We won't even get into it. But like, like that, I take a lot of extra lore and context from what's already provided when it comes to my understanding, Swerve. And I assume you do a lot of the same sort of stuff. Do you often do stuff like that, do you reckon?
Not too often. I stick to at the most soft canon stuff. Just because like non-canon stuff like Evolution 2 it just throws a spanner in the works, and it gets a little bit confusing. But there are some things
we know. Hopkins, Hopkins, he's like dead. He was mauled to death by a raptor, but he just like appears in Jurassic World Evolution. It's like you gotta take it with like a gallon of salt. There's a lot of salt there. You need to take it with. I mean, it's
but you can, like, if they do explain something in like the databases or something, for example, it doesn't hurt if it's nothing major. It doesn't hurt to use that information to try and better understand something. But you got to realize that it's not canon, so you can't 100% confirm it at the same time. You can only theorize and play with it.
And actually, speaking of Biosyn Valley, mate, Brooke, are you still there, darling? Brooke?
Yes.
Brooke?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Brooke, I know you had something. Hi. Yeah, this is Brooke again, by the way, Swerve. She had something about Biosyn Valley she wanted to ask you as well, mate. Yeah. So, Brooke, do you want to take it away?
Hang on. Yeah. Do you think it's at all possible we might see the campers end up in like Biosyn Valley, since the show takes place before Dominion?
It's interesting because I do believe that they're going towards that area, but I don't think that they're going to go all the way to North Italy. Malta, I think, is probably where the standoff point is going to happen if they do make their way across North Africa. So, but again, they've got to make their way through North Africa, which is a large bit of land. So there's no guarantee that they'll make it to Malta. They might just, do something in West Africa for season 2, and then I don't know where they're going to go from there. But I would like to see some kind of tie-in, because in season 3 of Camp Cretaceous they did that with Fallen Kingdom. So
yeah, Roger.
what's the worst that can happen when they do something for Minion?
Most definitely.
Well, weirdly enough, Swerve, I got a little middle one here to tell you about, mate. And I was under this. I thought I had picked up on something like into kind of like your level of like detail and analysis. Do you remember, Swerve, mate, when Darius is walking through all of those dino cages at the end of episode 9, I believe it is, just before, and he's like, "These, I thought this was small scale. It's going all over the world." They say, I went way too much into this, Swerve, mate. Do me a favor, add me later on, bro. I'll just give you these ideas. Yeah, he said he goes. I looked it up just before I got on here, bro. He says, Malaysia, Saudi, the Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, then Malta. I thought in my mind, mate, that somehow if the show does well enough and they get 5 seasons out of it, like they did with, Camp Cretaceous, they probably will. They probably will. And
I mean, that's
that's all good. Yeah, no. So I always thought like, well, what if they were heading to Malaysia, and like that was like the secret, kind of like they kind of told us all along like where they were heading, and then it ends with Malta specifically, like the last part. And I was like, oh, what if that's the secret? But nah, I think everyone's told me that the leaks they're heading towards Africa. I think, is that correct?
Yeah,
West Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's all good then. So
well, that's just like the closest coast that isn't South America, and again, bringing Majungasaurus back up. It is an African predator. That might be some kind of nod.
Oh, sorry. I think we just lost one of them. I think they must have. Oh, sorry. They must have taken off. That's all good. Yeah, no worries. Sorry. Yeah, Eric?
Majungasaurus kind of being that nod towards Africa a little bit. Like, oh, well, here's a little whatever. And then I think they'll hit Africa and then have to go up to Malta, if anything.
That's my theory. I think season 2 is going to take place in North Africa, Northwest Africa, and then season 3 in Malta, and then they might finish on season 3.
And of course,
hopefully not yet. They need their own trilogy, so we'll get a 3rd series, and then
that makes sense.
Of course, I mean, do you have any?
You're not asking for
gossip,
inside information at all.
If you please care to share? Do you have any theories or ideas for what might happen in season 2? Because the main one that I'm working with that is Brooklyn. Brooklyn is catfishing Ben to make sure that the whole group is okay.
People really don't like the idea. Really? I'm getting comments saying that they hate it every time. I made a whole
really.
She's 100% doing it.
But I think
that, bro.
Right?
Okay, you know what, Swerve? You know what, Swerve? Just for the sake of it, mate. Just so we can, just keep a little bit of that side flame will going, mate. Because this is how you keep the fans interested, mate. Where do you stand on the whole kind of a retcon of? Don't laugh, Lottie. How do you stand on like the whole Darius and Brooklyn and then Kenji and what are they called? Amelia down there. You still there, lovely?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are they called? The shipping names or something? I'm old. I don't keep up with all that sort of stuff. What's it called? Kenlyn,
Darylyn.
Yep. Darylyn. That's it. Oh mate. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty much that there. Yeah, lovely. So yeah, Swerve, where do you sort of stand on that, mate?
I'm not really. That's the thing. Like, it's
he doesn't care.
You're not really bothered by the drama and stuff. Yeah, no.
It's like it's a little bit cool. It's a little bit cool, that there's a little bit of a plot twist there with Darius and Brooklyn, because you kind of see that happening. I'm actually surprised we didn't end up together after Camp Cretaceous, but it's like I don't really care. It's on when watching Camp Cretaceous, it's weird. It's weird for me because they're kids in Camp Cretaceous, so I don't really want to focus on that. Just for obvious reasons. I really don't care. So, but in Chaos Theory, it's the young 20s. They have their own emotions, so it's going to be interesting to see everyone's reaction, because I can imagine what it's going to be like. Darius is going to be like, oh, wow, the girl that I loved is alive. Kenji, oh, wow, the girl I was with and loved is alive. Ben, you're supposed to be my girlfriend? What's going on here?
A bit of a moment where she's kind of been with all of them, and they're going to be like, what's been going on here? Are we like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And
That's so good.
if I'm
That's
not
so good.
mistaken,
It could be so funny.
didn't all the way over there to I guess my right. Didn't
Yeah.
you say something about everybody having a secret or something?
Yeah. So in the synopsis that was released alongside the season 2 teaser trailer, I think there are a couple of synopses, but in one of them, it said that they'll discover that they've been lying to each other. And so I was wondering if
Yeah.
you had any theories about what each camper is lying to the others about,
Oh, it's
because I feel like they've already set it up in the first season. We just need to
it's
find out
yeah.
specifically
It's
what they've
hard.
been
It's
lying
hard to
about.
work out what it is though, because like I would assume that Darius's is the fact that he was spending a lot more time with Brooklyn, but at the same time they kind of know that at the end of Chaos Theory. So I don't know if they're classifying that as
Yeah,
a
well,
secret
he
that
could
it
have
gets
been
built
lying
up.
about
Brooklyn's
it.
is a little obvious that she's not dead. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
pretty
Oh,
big
yeah.
secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you reckon that all means, Swerve? Like, the campers will learn about secrets about one another. I'm like, are they think they're talking just about Brooklyn being alive, or do they all have some kind of secret that they haven't told each other about that has been discovered in years past? What do you reckon there?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Loaded
This, I
question.
haven't. Yeah, no, because like I haven't. It's something that I've been meaning to like speculate on in my free time, but I haven't really given it a thought yet because there's so much that it could possibly be. It could literally be something that we don't know at all. It could be something that's maybe just hidden in the background of episode 3, frame 562 or something. You know, so it's like it's hard to justify what they all could be lying about, but you know, it's again
The biggest secret they're all lying about. They all secretly work for Bobby Nublar, and he's running everything. He's running everything. He just owns the world for
He's
whatever
behind
reason.
all of it.
he was the true
When he says he's the
partner
king
with
of
Hammond. He
dinos,
was
The
there from
broker,
day
no, he's
one.
the broker's broker. He runs all that too. He just
Nah,
owns
oh my
the
god,
world.
he's the broker that they're actually talking about. Yo, that would be the biggest
my
plot twist
God.
ever.
That would
ever.
be funny.
Well, you
though.
know what? What about this? Okay, you know what, Swerve? I reckon I was talking to Amelia here about this not long ago, right? And one of the secrets we were discussing could have been was that mate. Okay, here's the thing, bro. Manticore Island just kind of gets sidelined. It feels like they listened to everything the fans said, right? Like, oh, there's no no more Manticore Island, Darius and Brooklyn. Oh, they should be together. No worries, and all of this stuff, right? It's kind of not course correcting, mate, but it is genuinely them taking a moment and listening, and I respect them for that. But one thing, man, I was wondering, and lovely Amelia here brought this up. Whatever. So actually, you know what, Amelia? Sorry, would you like to take over and tell Swerve your idea?
I was kind of wondering how like what happened to like May from the island, because like we don't see her
She
like
dead.
at all.
Yeah,
She might be
Like,
dead. I don't know.
yeah. Maybe. Yeah, that,
plausible.
Just died
it's-
off screen like 2 years
oh,
ago.
just
That would be
unceremoniously. I don't know. Yeah, but
She
no,
almost
what do you
died in
reckon,
the show
Swerve?
too.
Yeah, but what do you
It's-
reckon there,
well,
Swerve?
one of correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I think a synopsis out there says that we will see old faces or something.
Old and new allies.
Old and
That's
new.
what it says.
What if
allies,
what if that's one of the not only
Dave,
the allies,
Roxy,
but what if that's
May.
one of the secrets? Yeah.
Dave, Roxy,
Like
and May, I believe.
Dave,
no, at least
Roxy,
one
and
of those
May,
three.
you
We
were
were
just
just talking
talking about
about that. I
this.
wanted to bring
You
that up.
were
I
just
want them
talking
back.
about this. Oh my
I want
god,
Dave
how
to
exciting!
release a new demo tape for them.
Oh, new beatbox. Oh, mate.
Oh, that'd
That'd
be
be
so
sick.
cute.
Like one of them
That'd be
secretly asked him, like they're like, yeah, this really reminds me of like kind of being with everybody. This really helps me remember like how we kind of survived and became friends. And so they're kind of like jokingly asking him for more demo tapes in the background, and they like find it in a bag or whatever, and they're like, what is wrong with you? It's like
Yeah.
it's like Yaz or something or whatever, and they're just like, what is wrong with you? She's like, I don't know. Mhm.
Yeah.
No
but I
worries,
mean,
That'd be
no
such a nice callback as well.
Or
yeah.
it would be really cool, like for whatever reason, like they just find his like mixtape or whatever, but it's like a hint from Brooklyn to like get
Okay,
that she's like trying to
now
get
you're
out of
thinking too
something.
into it.
I don't know. It would be funny.
So,
it's,
Yeah,
so-
well, it's like we
so-
said last
probably
time.
means
Sorry, so Lottie, I know you have other questions there. I know you have. You showed me your list. I know you've got other
Right,
things there.
yeah.
What else can you got?
Right.
Come on, we can't let such a good chance like
Okay.
this go past without it.
Okay. So I don't know if this is like obvious or not, but I don't think Daniel's involvement in all this is over. In that I know he's dead, but
Right.
I think there's sort of unfinished things that people wanted from him,
He'll haunt them from the grave.
and that they're going to learn more about that. Like if you remember, they found the money that Brooklyn was going to use to potentially buy the Allosaurus, but of course, whoever was selling it, Daniel, didn't get that money.
Nope.
So
maybe that's why they killed
him.
Do you reckon it? You know what? Ooh, do you reckon it had something to do? I don't know why I'm even thinking of this Swerve, but I don't even. I'm so sorry, Lottie, to just jump off the back of that point.
Okay.
But okay, so the Atrociraptors, right? Like the Atrociraptors. Amelia was telling me this, right? Because she was so good. She's normally very chatty, but it's like nighttime for her over there, bro. She's struggling. She's doing really well. What it is, mate, is that okay? So Swerve, you would probably have a better idea for me because I know I saw your video on this. But have your thoughts changed at all, mate? And has another option popped up? Where is Red, mate? Where is Red the Atrociraptor? Because I had so many thoughts and theories as to like, what if this is after Dominion? What if Red was captured? But then you actually kind of set me straight on that, Swerve, mate. You did an interview there with Scott Kramer, and you got him to say that, yeah, this actually takes place before Dominion. So if it's before Dominion, Swerve, what possibly is going on there? You know, what's the deal, mate?
Personally, that annoys me that it's before Dominion because that just retcons the whole timeline.
Absolutely, mate. I don't understand why.
There are a few writers saying no, it doesn't retcon, but it does because there's a lot
it kind of does, doesn't it?
Stuff that suggested that it was Dominion. Dominion. It was in August or July, like early
during
August,
the same time
late July. Yeah, obviously.
Or after,
but. So that's why I thought when you see the calendar say September for in Darius's cabin, I thought it takes place after, you know, but then he said that it was before, and then I feel like that confuses the whole Red situation even more because at the end of Dominion we see Red was captured. He wasn't one of the three that was left on the runway, so that would explain very easily where Red would have been, but now it just makes it even more confusing that it's before Dominion because where is he? You know, because like sure he might not be ready, he's not trained yet, but at the same time, why? He's not the alpha of the pack. He's probably one of the younger ones, I guess, in some way.
I'm gonna say my theory on this first. I'm thinking that Red is not part of that original pack. I'm thinking that was a special thing made by Santos. And she's going to take the other Atrociraptors and make tell Red to kind of like communicate to them and make them kill the handler.
But that's the thing, yeah. It sounds logical, but how are they going to do that within less than 2 months?
Well, it doesn't.
Mate.
She could be just working on it during the event of the show.
No, you got a point there, Swerve.
I think it's something as very simple as Red just got lost or stolen elsewhere, and somebody else had him in West Africa.
I reckon
he's going to appear in season 2.
Yeah, I've seen like the little Happy Meals toy thing of it, or whatever it was, mate. But like, then that raises up my other question, then, mate, because either there's so many things you're right could have happened. But my original thought before I started thinking about all this other Malta stuff, Swerve, was that, well, what if, pardon me, what if like, I don't know, for somehow, because like you said, mate, there's 4 doors on that little movable cart or whatever it was, and only 3 of them ever open for the other Atrociraptors. So we know Red has not been like forgotten. He's there, but
they specifically closed one in the middle too as well. So it doesn't look like it's part of the. It's just like a door not working. It's clear that they had Red in mind.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Scott Kramer did tease it as well in my interview. I don't know why I didn't follow up on it because he was like,
"No, mate, dude, you did so well in that, bro." I was like, I'm actually learning because, mate, here's the thing. Again, not to toot your horn too much, mate, but you set me straight because I actually got on our pod and I said, guys, there's a calendar in the background. No idea where I found that from. It's one of your videos. I saw it in the back and I was like, dude, this takes place like just after Dominion, but it didn't. It take place before, and I was like, God, never knew, and they messed me up, bro. So it was like it was their word against mine, and I'm like, of course, mate, it's their word against mine, mate, because they make the show, they make the rules, they can just throw it in there. I was like, golly, mate. Oh, it's just so funny. Anyway, Swerve, sorry, mate. Sorry, Eric, where were you going with this, bro?
So I mean, clearly there are the 4 doors. So it could also just be like maybe Santos is like the handler works for Santos and they're just renting one of them out, one of the Atrociraptors out for whatever reason. Yeah. It could be as simple as that. I mean,
it
doesn't have to be some super complex thing.
No, for sure. And I was
even just Red being missing, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we won't keep you very much longer, mate, I imagine, because you're a busy fellow. And you've been very kind and indulged us all this long as far as we go. But mate, I got to ask you a small favor, and I shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna, because I'm never gonna get a chance again, mate. Do you have any pull? Would you say, mate, with like official, like not like the actors themselves, bro, but like, would you have any sort of like sway with anyone who would be able to get like one of the actors from the films on a podcast, mate? Have you ever interviewed anyone like one of the actors and stuff like that? You've never been able to release it?
Deadly honest with you, it's next to impossible.
Damn, because bro, I was shooting for the stars not long ago. My friend Eric here will tell you. What is this, Swerve, mate? Is that the way we got to be mates is that we do a bit of fan fiction writing and stuff like this. Swerve, I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about this. You probably have on the first one back a year ago. So if you've been kind enough to grace us with a bit of your time listening on the pod. But what I'm doing, mate, is I was actually writing before Chaos Theory even came out. Swerve, I was writing like a kind of a sequel story to where I thought they were going to be, like in life, like the campus and stuff. And I was going to have them go to Australia, believe it or not, because they brought it up in season 4 or whatever. And it's so funny, Swerve, how so many things I did kind of predict kind of came close to being true. Like Darius was obviously part of the DPW, but he was still with them. And then Brooklyn was going to be investigating Sayona Santos and stuff and all this stuff. And it turned out a lot of it became true, mate. But what happened was I couldn't do that because then Chaos Theory comes out and it literally blows my entire story out of the water. I was like, because my goal is to like make it follow canon as much as possible, and I didn't know that we were ever going to see these characters ever again. So like I had artwork made for it, mate. I had stakes in this, bro. So when Chaos Theory came out, of course I enjoyed it, but I was like, no, my ideas, bro. So what I'd done instead, Swerve, was I thought to myself, well, another character I absolutely loved in Dominion was Sayona Santos, mate. Like something about her, mate. Just the gravitas, mate, that Ditch and Lackman brought to that role. I was like, holy, if I can write like an origin story on her, mate, that'd just be like my one accomplishment I could tell my grandkids about. They'd be like, what, do you remember my birth? I'd be like, nah, not really. So what it is, I was wondering, mate, do you know if there's any way we can try to get someone as big as Ditch and Lackman on the bloody horn, mate, and get him on the pod? Because if I could interview her, the character who was inside the mind of the person I'm writing about, how good would that be? But what do you got to say about that?
For an actress like her, I think it's better to try and reach out on Twitter. She doesn't have her DMs open, so
gotcha.
Try your luck. But again, there was a quote unquote Malta incident, which I'm not going to talk about.
No. That's all good. I got your copy.
Maybe in a future life story video, maybe.
Don't you worry, off the record. You'll be right.
We'll see. It's a very difficult scenario. I did try to get my What If series.
Mate, I enjoyed that. I watched that right after binging What If from the Marvel, bro. I was like, this is incredible.
I initially tried to get the man himself, Jeff Goldblum, to go ahead and do the voiceover for that.
Did you?
It was it's very, very difficult to get through for something like that. And even literally just for 30 seconds. So
mate. Now you're making me want a what if of your what if, mate.
No offense to like us three.
Oh yeah,
Swerve is on a level above us.
Yeah,
and above
this man is one of the big five. I'm like, hey, no way.
We're all Jurassic fans.
For sure. We are all equal in that sense, bro.
There's one level we're all Jurassic fans.
That's why you're in the position you got, mate. That's why so many people follow you.
Yeah, but in this fandom, you're the closest thing we've got to like a celebrity or something. So.
I said to Eric, the funny thing is, Swerve, I can say this now because we're nearly at the end here, bro. But like I said to this fella, as a I still can't even believe I'm here. Really, I got to be honest with you. Not to
Go ahead, tell a story.
Oh no, don't even a story, mate. I was saying to him, Swerve, that like I said, mate, just a couple of months ago, before he got in touch with you, I said to him as a joke. I said, so what happened is on our channel here, mate. There's a bit of a running gag going, Swerve, that I never show me face. I'm the beautiful bloody voice in your ear. I don't bother doing that stuff. And I made a joke to this fella as just as a joke. I said, mate, you ever get me, Sam Neill, Ditcher Lackman, or Swrve, or somebody famous on the pod, I'll do a bloody face reveal. and look where we are. And I'm like, oh my god, bro, I didn't think you were ever gonna do it, bro. I didn't think this was possible. So this is what I mean. So Lottie, you just said it yourself. You're about the closest thing to an actual celebrity we are ever going to have. So I need you to understand, this is it for us, mate. We get no better than this. This is the peak. This is the peak, mate, for all of us, man. I'm not even on our channel. I'm like, I'm going to ride this forever. I'm going to tell everyone I've never met Swerve.
Don't think that's going to stop me from trying to get other people on.
Oh, bro, if you... Hey, we started here. If this is where we're starting, the first kind of big guest we've had on the show, mate, sky's the limit now, honestly, Eric, man. I don't know what he said to you, but... Mate, well done, Eric. Well done. I don't know how you done it.
It was all thanks to the perfectly timed email. I'll be deadly honest, because I get quite a few emails come through.
That's right, mate.
And I always try my best to help other creators and let them grow and have a chance, because that's what other creators like Clayton and Best Gamer Beaver did for me as well. So of course,
for sure.
I want to help out others. So
yeah, mate.
But that's it gets to a point where like there's so many I'm not too sure who to say yes to. So
look, I understand.
Your email just was sent perfectly timed.
Wow. That's incredible. See, that's the story there, Eric. That's what
I'm nowhere near as big as you, Swerve, but like that's kind of where I'm at too. I've had a couple of people, they're like, hey, you wanna do this on my channel? I'm like, yeah, I'll go for it. Like as long as you're not like, I'm gonna bring you on and talk bad about you for the next hour.
Well, not even about you, just about this franchise, mate. Like the last thing this franchise, in my opinion, needs, Swerve, is any more like overt like negativity, mate. Like it already has enough of that at the moment. It's got enough of the toxic fan base. It's got enough of these negative reviews. It's just a great series, mate. And can't it just be that?
So I gotta ask, in the Jurassic universe, if you were to exist.
Here we go.
Would you be like an actual Jurassic content creator, or would you just be a conspiracy theorist?
It almost happened twice.
Oh, bro, like, dude, if they somehow managed to put you into Chaos Theory and you can't tell us, like, because of an NDA or something, bro, I'm gonna.
No. It was I can't. I don't know if you're aware of this board game.
Go on.
Jurassic Park role play board game or something. I can't remember.
Wait a minute. I did hear about this. Yeah. I do remember this. Yeah.
So the people working on it, I didn't even know that they had plans for me to be a part of that. So I learned at the same time everybody else learned. I was like, oh wow, this is kind of cool.
Hey, by the way, we got Swerve on the board. What?
And there's also this one moment where I tried my luck to try and get in with Dino Tracker as well. I had this whole idea. I was going to go to this park near mine, and it has like a cowsey, like a woods, and I remember there was a specific bin. For some reason, people would always litter in that bin, like it'd be overfilled and everything. And I had this idea of tying some Kevlar around some of the litter and having my friend off screen like pull it so it looked like some compies, and I'd vlog it, and then a Carnotaurus would come from the trees, and then I'd
my
I had that idea. And I would have loved to have done that, but it was a bit too late.
Cool. Oh man, I can imagine it. Like, not even if it's even like just I've made it into a video, but bro, like just a screenshot of that or whatever, just like kind of rushing out from the trees. It's camouflage, bro. It would have been the camouflage and I reckon. Yeah. Oh man,
I want that in the movies too. I
gotta tip my hat to you, honestly, Swerve. I gotta tip my hat. That was
probably the closest we're gonna get.
Yeah,
so I'm starting to realize now, Eric, mate, we're not dreaming big enough, you and I, mate. This fella had plans to be on Dino Tracker, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you two handle this for a second.
I'm still writing. Let
me just cook up on my story
I'm
first,
only on episode 9. Chill.
Baby steps, bro. I'm sorry.
Finish the script
This is great. So, Swerve, mate, I'm just wondering, on that note, is there any other really like interesting little stories and stuff that you've never told someone before, or something to do with Jurassic that even you yourself have wanted to see or do or be part of, something like that. Is there anything you got for us, mate?
Let's say. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of an exclusive here. Hypothetically speaking, it seems like Evolution 2 is kind of over, right?
Right. Yeah. The collector's pack come out, and we all
Sometimes.
seem to be all done.
Yeah, we're all in agreement that Evolution 2 is practically over.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
So,
it feels that way.
When I was at a certain event, a little birdie was speaking to me about the Smilodon.
No, really?
I it never happened, but I assume they did try, because I remember they were saying how I'm trying not to get people in trouble here. So some of them don't work anymore, so it's like
my mate Ralph.
But there are some people saying that they saw the trailer release for season 4 of Camp Cretaceous. They saw the Smilodon, and in the studio apparently their faces dropped, and they were wondering, how do we make that into the game?
Really?
They're gonna have to try to make it into the game. It never happened.
No.
With Evolution 3 over the horizon, hopefully that's a different thing happening.
Yeah.
But
It's Rex though.
Yeah, good job. Well done. So on that note then, Swerve, so mate, you're right, I haven't talked to you much about the games, mate. Swerve, what are your hopes? I know I could just watch a video. I know I could, and I have, but I want to know, have you thought of anything else that you would like to see in Evolution 3 aside from it just taking place, presumably with Chaos Theory content and Rebirth content on there? What kind of game mode would sell that game for you? What do you need to basically promote the game?
I need it to be a different game. I'll be deadly honest. Like,
different format and everything.
Not entirely a different format, just like follow something slightly different, because when Evolution 2 was, we all knew Evolution 2 was going to happen like 2 years before it was announced.
Eventually,
so I was hoping that when it would come through, they call it like Jurassic World Evolved or something like that instead of Evolution 2.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm hoping they go down that route with Evolution 3, because then they're not tied down specifically to bring in everything from the previous 2 games, and then they can have like a bit more freedom and to design whatever they want to design.
That is kind of a thing. Jurassic World Evolution 2 it's the same game, but still very different from the first game.
So see, the thing is, I can admit this now to you. I can honestly admit this to you now, because we're in the presence of essentially, one of the big 5. I can say this is that when I remember the day, Swerve, you probably know it probably better than me, mate, but I remember the day that original teaser trailer, CGI trailer, whatever it was, for Evolution 2 was announced. It's Malcolm saying, we ignored all the warnings and all this stuff, and it was Evolution 2. I don't know, mate. I don't remember being excited for that, but obviously my hype for it grew once it started getting the screenshots, and we're gonna be off the mainland and stuff in different environments. I was like, cool,
diaries and all that kind of thing, or whatever.
Yeah, mate. But like, I remember that first trailer. I was like, oh no, what we already have this game. Why are we getting another game with another dinos? And I don't know, man. I don't know. Swerve, how did you feel with mate? How did you feel when that was first announced? Because obviously you would have had to have been hyped, not only for your channel, I understand, but like just on a more personal level, mate. What were your thoughts when that first was announced?
There's a video on my second channel of me screaming like a little girl. So.
That's right. Holy, I've forgotten about that. Oh, man.
Yeah, I was hyped as ever. I had like 67,000 subscribers or something, and this is like a new chance, because I didn't have the best discussions with Frontier for the first Evolution game, and by the time the second one came out, it was a completely new team, and then we had like new discussions, and how they they're happy to work with me, and we just basically spoke it all out. So that was that's a very unique experience. I recognize that, but I think that really helped me with being more excited with Evolution 2. Just because I kind of can see a better idea of where the game's going, and then I felt more confident in it all, really.
No, that's understandable. I can definitely see that. Fair enough. Well, I mean, hey, mate, I feel like I've picked every part of your brain so far for all of this. Very good stuff. So, Lottie and Eric, do you have any other like final thoughts for the man?
I'll let.
Sorry, Lottie,
you go first.
Do you have anything interesting left?
One thing that's always intrigued me about you, Swerve, is when Chaos
me?
Theory was about your opinions and stuff. Chaos Theory was just coming. Don't worry. Chaos Theory wasn't out yet, and we were getting interviews with the showrunners and everything. And I think Scott Creamer said, "Yes, there are dinosaurs, but it's a show about the characters." And you absolutely agreed with that. And I was so intrigued, and I was wondering if you'd ever felt that same way about the other sort of films, especially the Jurassic World films. Like when it comes to Chaos Theory, you seem excited about the characters. Is that the same for Jurassic World, or is it just the dinosaurs, really?
The thing is, I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. I would not mind if there is a Jurassic movie, or actually maybe movie not so much, but a series. Like let's say a Jurassic series, where there's no dinosaurs involved. I wouldn't mind that at all. Because I like the characters, I like the stories, and
can you call it a Jurassic series then?
You can, and you know what?
That's the thing, you can, because it takes place in the same universe.
And the thing is,
story,
okay, you what, Lottie,
it's like Andor that doesn't have any lightsabers. Like it's still Star Wars.
That's it. It's still Star Wars.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Andor, but
really,
wow.
This isn't a Star Wars channel.
We're all impressed.
Keep on talking, please.
Right. But you know what? Honestly, Swerve, and thank you, Lottie, for bringing that up, because you've just reminded me. I would have regretted it if I never brought this up, mate. Okay, for some reason, mate, whether it's thanks to Evolution 2 and the weird high that I get, mate, when I'm running the park and everything's going well, I'm making my money, I'm doing right by InGen and John Hammond, mate. Peter Ludlow, for me, has become in recent years one of the more like misunderstood characters, especially due to a deleted scene that I'm sure you know very infamously about. And what it is, mate, it's from the Lost World. It's for me in my older years now. Like, God help me, I'm 27. It's just the boardroom scenes, Swerve. But it's so interesting because, like, now that you're older and you understand how the world works in business, people, when you're a kid, you see that sort of stuff, Swerve, and it's like, it's boring or whatever. When you're an adult, you're like, how much money for cover-ups and lawsuits, and how much you've got, and you're bleeding, you dry, and John Hammond doesn't care. What do you mean? And it's like,
I mean,
the thing is,
Peter Ludlow has his faults. He shouldn't make a darn Jurassic Park on the mainland. He should know that.
Well, that's the thing. That's actually the thing I was going to ask Swerve about, mate. Because the thing is, it actually makes sense to me now, Swerve. And the thing that makes it interesting to me, you just said, mate, you're like, what if we could have a Jurassic Park with no dinosaurs? What if we had a series, Swerve? Would you greenlight this, mate, if you had an opportunity? Would you greenlight a series that deals with literally the ramifications that takes place day one after Jurassic Park collapses and Hammond loses all of his money, and it's like a lawyer drama documentary where they have to cover up like secret cover-ups and stuff, mate, and then you do see dinosaurs, but like not like clear and in like a majesty thing, and kind of like a hush hush, we have to pay this person off, and it's like a lawyer drama. Would you like see something like that, mate? And they could probably even promote it, like having like the Jurassic Park logo on like a suitcase or something, like they got like a bag or something, right? Like, what would you thoughts on that, Swerve? Like you said.
Well, again, I know this isn't a Star Wars channel, but I'm going to compare it to Andor. Yeah, I wasn't a fan, but I can't ignore how praised it was because of how different it was and how more kind of
out there.
More
not out there, no.
More down to earth in the sense
because
it wasn't forced sci-fi like Jedi and lightsabers and everything.
Yeah,
so
it was real people.
I feel like something like that could actually work with Jurassic as well. And as you said, even like a poster of a briefcase and a Jurassic logo or something, it would work. It doesn't have to be like there's so many limited series. Like I hate limited series. I can't stand a series.
They get me, mate. They hook me in the end, and I'm like, no, more, please.
I know, but I wouldn't mind that for something like you've described. Because it doesn't need to be dragged on for so long. It doesn't need to be so high budget, and CGI dinosaurs cost a lot.
No, exactly.
Let's be honest, they cost a lot. If you want to create something with the Jurassic name sells. You can create something like that, and it'll be fine.
Absolutely.
I've tried. Do I say this? I've tried to pitch something to Universal.
Give us the deets. You got this. You're safe. You're a safe space here, mate.
It's
It's that's all right. Look,
Actually,
we'll talk about
space. Universal will watch this
while it's on recording. While it's on recording, bro. This is an after market thing, and that's when you do a smash cut. And so that was really cool, Swerve. Wow, thank you, mate. So listen, so once again, guys, any final thoughts for the man? Because he's got 6 more videos to make in the next 2 hours, I'm sure. Because he's just so good.
I'm going to bed.
Oh, dang! I was trying to wind you out. He's all right.
Well, I guess,
Eric. Yep. What do you got, mate?
Since we are closing out, do you have any final thoughts? Is there anything you want to put out into the world of my 5 regular viewers?
He undersells himself. He's worth so much more than that. I've said it to him forever, Swerve. But
I have more Instagram followers than I do YouTube subscribers. Don't.
Mate, I'm affiliated.
Instagram is hard.
That's it, isn't it?
I
tell you what. Funny enough, mate, I got so many people following me, bro. I don't know none of them, bro, but it makes me feel good. All right, I'm not even associated directly with the channel, and yet I get 500 people liking my stuff, and I don't even post a single thing. That's the whole thing. I'm affiliated, bro.
I got over 1,000 new followers because somebody reposted one of my reels, and I'm just
retweet it, bro.
That's cool.
Oh, watch out, mate. Watch out. That's why this fella here doesn't. He only does podcast appearances. He doesn't do retweets. Send you viral, bro. Change your life forever. Anyway, turn you into a profitable paleontologist. So, what I was gonna say this was that like he says, is there any other sort of things that you want to leave us with, mate? Any sort of thoughts or advice or anything? Not even advice, just about growing channels, because that's not what we're here for, mate. We're not here to try to learn how to get to your level. Like you said, we're all Jurassic fans. We're just here to have a good time, mate. What are your sort of closing thoughts? Potentially, I will speak for myself.
I'm kidding.
I'm bigger than you, bro. I'm bigger than you.
My goal isn't to get high in the Jurassic franchise world, is to get high in the paleo world.
For sure. So, and you're already on the track for that, mate. So, as I say, Swerve, have you got any sort of final closing thoughts for us, mate?
Just enjoy the series, because I might get a little bit of stick for this, but I feel like this fan base. I love the people. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I know what you're about to say. And I'll stand with you. Mate.
I don't think that there's a dedicated fan base to a specific franchise who hate the movie so much.
I would say Star Wars is that fan base. I would say Star Wars. I've seen Jurassic.
That is the only thing I have heard.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
nobody hates Star Wars like a Star Wars fan.
That's right.
I hear that all the time. But you look at the original trilogy, and the Star Wars fans die for the original trilogy.
I know, bro. You're right.
You look at Jurassic fans; they're on the fence. Everyone loves the first movie, sure, but then they're on the fence about The Lost World. Then on the fence about three.
It's such a varying community.
Yeah,
it is, mate. And I've always said that.
We all agree the first movie is just a masterpiece.
Well, it's the masterpiece.
It's the start of the series. I mean,
and you know what, Swerve, you're absolutely right, bro. Because I've always said, mate, to everyone I've ever met about these franchises, don't compare them to the first thing, because you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. Because the glass explodes, melts in your hand, and burns you every time. I've tried it. Point is, don't compare it. Don't try it, because you will never live up to your expectations. Every sequel, you go into it, mate, you expect nothing, and you'll always be surprised by everything. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing, mate, when the time comes for this next movie coming out. I'm going to go in there, not going to watch any trailers, everything I see, Swerve. And if anyone out there is still listening, which I hope you are, because this is the biggest we're ever going to get, I will not ever go into that cinema expecting to be expecting my expectations. I want to be wowed, and I will be wowed by just kind of letting it happen.
And I'll end off on this final point when rating movies. You rate them amongst the franchise. Yeah. No. I think you rate them amongst the franchise. You rate it as itself, and then that's it. You can rate it as a overall movie to all of the movies you've seen, but that it makes no sense because every movie is so different. They're so vastly different to each other. So you can rate it amongst the franchise, and I think, for example, I give The Minion an 8.1 out of 10, for example.
Oh, it's solid up there.
That's just
that's mad.
I can see it. I'm gonna stay quiet.
But that's because I rank it amongst the rest of the movies. If I was to rank it against every single movie that I've ever seen, Interstellar being the best one ever, it's not even going to go past 3 or 2.
No.
So
of course, man.
You can compare all the vegetables you have, all the fruits and vegetables in the world, but you can't compare it. It's like, you can compare apples and oranges, but it's not really.
Some are healthier for some of them are healthier than the others. Or one of them gets you diabetes faster, but yeah, no. Anyway.
You need to bring that up,
bro. You know, I'm so sorry, Swerve. We're trying to be professional. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Swerve. And look, so once again, mate, thank you so much, mate, for swinging on here on our little channel that we're all lucky enough to be on. Thank you, especially Eric, because this is all thanks to you, mate. I would have never met this man were it not for you.
My lucky email.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's the story. That's the story I'm telling everybody from day one tomorrow. I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna be like, bro, you ain't no idea who I saw. They're like, who? This fella. Don't worry about it. Look him up. Give him another subscription.
My bad.
Go check him out. Be promoting him. But yeah, no. But anyway, thank you so much once again, mate. From all of us. Are you right?
Oh yeah.
You gotta run. You gotta run. I mean, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Well, thanks anyways. Thanks so much, and good luck with your channels, and let me know if there's anything else that I could help with in the future.
Oh, don't you worry, mate. We'll be definitely we'll be trying to get you back here for I don't know. Not after season 2 of Chaos Story because that's too soon, and you got videos to make, mate.
We
but
can
hopefully, maybe after.
Maybe discuss the differences of opinion for Dominion.
Lottie. Nah, you know what? You know what, mate? If you were to even make it part of that into a video, like a proper just sections of it, mate, you've got me there. Minute one, I will drop
Don't worry,
everything.
I'll play devil's advocate with you so that you're not just.
No. See, what is this? I'll bring Daniel along next time. And he'll be on Lottie's side as well. So you know what? Oh my God, yeah, Swerve. We're definitely got to try to do that, mate. Thank you. I would love that, eh?
No
It's
problem.
gonna be like 3 hours of just shouting.
Eric, run us down, bro.
I guess if any of you have to leave, you can.
Oh, don't you worry, bro. You roll the credits, bro. You whack on that recording. We'll be all done. We're all sorted.
If you're watching this and you don't know who
Swerve is, somehow, if you've lived under like a fossilized rock,
sort your life out, man.
Yeah, come on, just open YouTube. Just open you. I don't even mean this as a joke. Just open YouTube. He's all over there, trending everything. You don't even need me to tell you where to go. Just
and
go
to be
there.
fair, if you're watching me because you like the actual paleontology side of my content, then that is a fair reasoning. That is fair reasoning. I don't know why you've made it this far if you cared. If you didn't care, but semantics. You should know where to find him. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You just search Swrve, you'll be able to find him. Don't
worry about me. We're not here for me today. You don't. No. I'm coming back. This is her time now.
We'll have her on later. Don't worry about it. But for me, you know where to find me. YouTube. You probably watching this. Instagram, Prehistoric Life. On my website, prehistoriclife.com. Just from there, you get to my YouTube and my Instagram. I'm your host, Eric Crawford, signing off. This has been Prehistoric Life Podcast, and remember, keep it prehistoric. All right, if you did stay this long, I do want to say that we do have about like whatever amount of time to get the whole in-post scene crap for YouTube. Yeah. But if you just stay this long, you get additional content. Woohoo!
Oh no! I was like, damn. This is where I'm gonna be like, oh, so now I can drop the accent, can I?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I will come back, but I gotta go and get tea. My sister's bugging me right now.
All right, darling, you go.
I'll be back.
Well, I guess Jack.
Stay there.
There's you and me, bro, I guess, as always. No, you're right, Lottie, you go. You're good.
So I guess, I mean...
Holy...
additional content. How do you feel, man? How do you feel?
What do you mean, how do I feel, bro? I just talked to bloody Swrve, bro, without bloody riding him too hard, mate. That was a moment in life for me, mate. That's like a bucket list
message.
Oh, he's a good boy. He was really good jumping on here, eh? That was good, eh? Thank you once again, bro, eh, for that.
I mean, it's just... In this craft, I've talked to, if you are a longtime viewer of the channel, I've talked to I Know Dino, Dinosaur Podcast. I've talked to Dr. Brian Curtis. it's all just luck of the draw. I mean,
all definitely notable names
at
compared
the end
to
of the day,
Swerve.
I don't know who's going to respond to me. I mean, for all I know, I've had people that I've interviewed with that just don't respond to anything anymore. I mean, it's just like, okay, well, I guess I can't have you on anymore. You just don't respond to me. But I mean, there's still some kind of content on there, and I mean, this section that I've created, Jurassic Legacy, is meant to be the Jurassic franchise portion of my podcast. I mean, granted, my podcast is not exclusively Jurassic content. That seems a little bit too limiting for Minecraft specifically. It's meant to be to like not really. I mean, I don't need an excuse to talk about it. I can just be like, screw it. Today we're talking about Jurassic Park because I want it. It's my podcast.
Multifaceted. That's what you are.
Exactly.
You got multiple. You got fingers in many pies.
You see it, and you see it's in the Jurassic Legacy, whatever little playlist on YouTube. You're just like, okay, I don't care about the Jurassic franchise. What a freak! I mean, what?
Man,
who said that?
I mean,
I didn't say that.
He's gonna get me in trouble now.
If you don't care as much about the Jurassic franchise, I know there are people like that, but they still really love dinosaurs. I mean, it's you can skip it. I mean, it's the whole point. You just don't do this episode. I mean, it's although if you're watching it this far, I still don't know why you're still watching. This is literally just rambling and
this is like the 5-minute worth aftermath that we just put in for a bit of bonus stuff for those who are legends enough to stick around. But
I really feel most people just turn it off at the.
Oh, I mean, as they normally would, but no. But she all right, bro. But honestly, mate, this is one of those times I'm happy to stick around for an extra little bit at the end, bro. Dude, that was cool. That felt cool, mate.
I guess while we're give you a second to think about everything that just happened, kind of let it decompress. Here's a word from
How do I even?
Thanks, yeah, bro. How do I even? Now let's talk about today's sponsor, Dinosaur Trips. If you love looking at these amazing creatures that I show you, and even talking about these amazing creatures that I talk about, and you want to go see them in real life, I heavily suggest you look at Dinosaur Trips. Dinosaur Trips, created by Zach, gives you behind-the-scenes in-look at museums, and he even takes people out to digs. So if you sound interested in that, go to www.dinosaurtrips.com and tell them that Prehistoric Life sent you, and they'll give you $250 off your tickets. And here's their Instagram if you're interested in giving them a follow.
And of course, go follow Dinosaur Trips. They're really nice. I love that man. He's amazing. He responds to everything. So I guess, I mean, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to say?
Oh, look, just before we hit the final stop here on the recording. Look, mate, honestly, everything that we said tonight, mate, guys, everyone listening, just try to play it by that. I would suggest is that I'm never going to tell you what to do, but if you're able to go in there with no expectations for anything exciting that you care about, you will never be disappointed. And I tell you what, as someone who doesn't live with a lot of disappointment when it comes to things, it does feel pretty good.
And I guess, I mean, before I close it out, play it backwards. It probably means something.